As a kid that grew up in the 80s, I had my fair share of action figures. It started with Star Wars and G.I. Joe, and it included the Transformers and the Masters of the Universe collection. As an adult, I started collecting some of the Masters of the Universe figures again, and I was looking for a really cool way to display them, and I found this Castle Grayskull on eBay a couple months ago. So I purchased it with the intent of kitbashing the heck out of it to build it into a display diorama. I also want it to double as a playset for my grandson when he comes over. So here's what I purchased, and in this video I'm going to show you how I went from there to here. That's all coming up. Okay, so the first thing I did is I had to replace these little tabs on the edges of the drawbridge. They were busted off, but that was easy to do with some styrene. I'll do a little bit of trim work once I get to that point to finish it up and then get them painted to match. The next thing I'm going to do though is figure out this angle here that I want to set this so it gives me 15 inches of depth from this corner over here of the castle to the very front, because I'm going to build that base. Once I have that, I'm going to use this floor section as a template to make me a new floor. This is a 1/2 inch thick, so I'm going to make the new floor out of 1/2 inch plywood. No elevator, that's all going to go away. This piece here that's missing, I'll make a template out of cardboard. Once I'm happy with the fit, I'll transfer that onto some 1/2 inch plywood as well. That'll slide in. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have these overlap here to be kind of a set of stairs, and it'll give me a glue surface to fasten everything together, give it a little bit of structure, make it more durable, so when my grandson uses it for a play set. But my plan is to have the upper deck on, remember I'm going to build a wall here, so on all three of these sections be one level of the play set, and I'll have a set of stairs that comes down to the lower level. I don't want to use any of these accessories because I don't want to A, lose them, or B, have them be left out and me find them with my bare feet. So let me get to work cutting these two sections out with some 1/2 inch plywood, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how these are going to fit up. Okay, so I got the two new floor sections cut out, so let me pull this one out. Again, I just use this as a template. We're getting rid of the elevator, so we don't need that hole in it, so that sets in there like that. And then this one, the cardboard template, traced it out. This one's going to set in here like so. I figured out my angle. I want these 2 points to meet together here. And then I made this piece here. This is 2 inches wide. So that'll give me 1 inch of glue surface here and 1 inch of glue surface on this one. This will set in here like so. And give me that set of stairs I was talking about for the upper level of the play structure. So this is coming along just fine. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out my base. I'm going to use 1.5 inch foam insulation board for that, and then I'll do the same thing for this wall here. So let me get those cut out and then I'll come back. Alright, so I got the base cut out and I forgot to turn the camera back on, so I apologize for that. But what I did is I set it on a piece of foam insulation board. I got that angle I wanted and I traced that out because that was important, and I drew out where I wanted that third wall of the castle to go, and I got this all cut out. I set the castle on here and figured out, you know, the perimeter to where everything would set right and the castle wouldn't hang over. And then once I got that cut out, I forgot to turn the camera back on, but I used my Dremel to start doing some of the carving work. I carved in some stone for inside of the castle for the floor. And once I was done with the Dremel, I hit this with a heat gun just to get rid of kind of all the little burrs and stuff. I used a little sanding block as well to get it to this point. I also cut out the third wall to the castle here and did the same thing here with the stonework. Just use my Dremel for that. There's going to be several more pieces that go to this, so I'll show you that. But this will end up setting on the base here with the castle. So let me get the castle on here and this third wall, and I'll come back and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so here's kind of the initial look. You can see we got the third wall of the castle here now. I've got it on the base, and then I've got some pieces I started working on, but that'll set in there to help plug that hole. And then this goes, whoops, this will go in here and it'll end up getting attached, but that'll help kind of fill that in for the diorama in my room. It's not going to affect it for the playset value. And then over here I've got a couple of corbels that I've been working on. These will set in here to help support the walkway that I built, the kind of little turret here. And this will set on here like so. And that should be pretty neat for the display, but it also should be pretty neat for play value. So what I'll do is let me get a couple pictures and I'll show you that, and then I'll spin it around and I'll show you the back side and what I have planned for the inside. So here's the back side of Castle Grayskull. It's got the base, the castle, our floors, the whole other third wall to the castle. Here's the set of stairs that's going to tie the lower level to the upper level. Stairs and a walkway here. So there should be a ton of play value with the upper area all connected and the lower area connected. I've got a piece of foam here. I'll do some carving on this. I'll probably end up cutting this back trim here, flush. But I'll do that. That'll give some more play value. There's a little kind of hidden area back here that I think I'll leave. But I'll get the stonework done up and get ready for paint. The floor up here, I still got to kind of figure out if I want to use popsicle sticks and make a beam floor or do something with this. I haven't decided exactly what I want to do yet. The other thing I've got to figure out is how I'm going to attach the foam to the castle down to the base. It'll probably be a combination of a couple of things, but I'll cover that in the next video. I'll get some of this stuff figured out and we'll take it from where we have it now to the finished product. So this is where we got to here. So in the next video we'll finish this one off. We'll have the final paint, we'll have all that rock carving done, I'll have it all put together, and we'll see what it looks like completed as a display diorama, and then from the back side as a play set. I'd like to take a moment here to thank all of our subscribers and apologize for not getting content out a little bit more regularly. We've had a few curveballs in our family here over the past couple weeks, so that's we've had to deal with that. Life, everybody has to deal with that. But we have a few more big builds that we have in the works, so you should see videos coming out a little bit more regularly. So if you like this stuff, hit that like button. If you want to follow along, subscribe to the channel. Anyways, thanks guys. We'll catch you on the next one.